This is the Young Bucks.
And you're listening to the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. To sweep me.
Produced by the Cleveland Sound Radio Network. Here is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, hosted by Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
Episode number 27 here of the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. I am Glenn Moore, joined here by my co-host Steve Guy. Number 27, Steve, dedicated to Mr. Chris Jericho, who has the 27th longest WWE title reign in history of WWE.
27th longest.
27th longest. He has longer than guys like Psycho Sid, Alberto Del Rio, The Big Show. He had one title reign for 98 days.
And special treat just for you guys, we are going to just play this entire episode, Chris Jericho's list of
armbar. Speaking of armbar, how about
we're not really going to do that.
How about Kevin Love getting the armbar?
Oh, Kevin Love, that's Kelly Olynyk's only move is the armbar.
It's devastating. It has an effect. Tapping out. So bad Kevin Love had to run back.
That sucker was out. Listen,
unbelievable.
I've dislocated my shoulder a couple times. Ugh, it hurts.
Well, great armbar. All right, a special show today, Young Bucks. The Young Bucks will be joining us on this week's episode. Chatted with them at AIW. We'll get an AIW's, their past show, Make Them Say on Friday night here in Cleveland.
Nick and Matt Jackson. Yeah,
they will be joining us talking about their beef with Jim Cornette, if it's the right time to join the WWE, and among other things with those two guys. Great interview, great 15-minute interview. Make sure to stay tuned for that one. Coming weeks, we're going to have interviews with Chris Sabin, a TNA legend who is now making the indie rounds. And we will also have Brian Myers, known to you guys from WWE as Kurt Hawkins. A good half an hour with him. Great interview with him.
Oh, yeah.
So those two will be coming up here on the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show in the coming weeks. But this week are the Young Bucks, a favorite on the indie scene. And they were part of AIW's Make 'Em Say event. Lasted late into the night. You had Mickie James here featured doing autographs.
Huge show.
Young Bucks came out, had their match. They lost, but they came out in a run-in and set up a match for Absolution, which is the WrestleMania of AIW, which will be in July.
So they will return.
Yes, they will be back here in Cleveland. Go to AIWrestling.com for more information on that. So great event, though. Great turnout. I think it was the most fans.
Oh, it was packed.
For us three times we've been there. They had to turn people away.
They did. They absolutely did. We got there, and Mickie James was probably the more notable name to a lot of like WWE fans. Obviously, Young Bucks not being in WWE, so she drew a lot of folks who had watched it previously, maybe haven't been to an indie show, which was great for them. And I think people were entertained in general there. But long line to get her autograph and picture with her, which is part of why we didn't get to interview her.
Yeah.
The other part, of course, being I'm going to tell the story real quick.
Oh God.
So Mickie finally has her match.
Oh jeez, we're gonna put her out there, huh?
She comes down.
She's never gonna come on the show now.
No, this is fine. It's fine. And she was there with her mother and her baby, new baby. He's baby, folks, real little.
Okay.
And Mickie comes down, and Glenn says, yeah, we looked at each other, we might get her. And I looked over at Nikki, and having 5 nephews and nieces and sitting around 2 sisters-in-law, I watched her put this thing over her neck that looks like a bib. And I said, Glenn, I don't think we're going to get that interview.
I don't think we're going to get her. had to take care of business.
It was feeding time.
And then she had to run out because she was doing a show in Marietta, Ohio.
Yeah.
And I knew once the baby was leaving the building that we were not going to get her.
Yeah, once the baby was gone,
there's
Mom
no
was
chance.
Obviously following.
But maybe she'll come back. Maybe she will. I mean, it brought a lot of people to the event.
A lot of people turned out for it. A lot of people were very excited about her match. She had a fun match too.
Yeah.
A 4-way dance there with the ladies, Veda Scott, Candice LeRae, and I can't think of it.
Athena.
Athena. There we go.
Yeah. Your favorite.
Yeah. She's good. She's entertaining.
Yeah.
Veda's your new champion, though.
Yeah.
Your favorite. Great show in general. The Young Bucks had one of my favorite things of the night when they came and did their run-in, and Raymond Rowe was there. He's in TNA, and it was awesome, and it was dudes on TV. If anybody knows who Matt Cross, M-Dog, is, he showed up to do a run-in. Hasn't been in AIW for a while, so he'll take part of Absolution. But the Young Bucks, obviously super kick party on full display, flipped a dude over to Raymond Rowe, who caught him basically like in a tombstone pile driver position, and then they super kicked both at the same time, his knees out. So he did do the tombstone, which was awesome, and then they super kicked him to the face. Coolest move all night long.
The Young Bucks, they had some innovative moves. The Meltzer driver, which they do it's a spike, basically a spike tombstone pile driver off the top rope. Super kicks all around. They were fighting for the AIW tag team titles, which they lost, but an entertaining match. They will be back in July, so if you're from the Cleveland area and you missed them coming here to Cleveland, they will be back in July for their match, and they had a big crowd. I know Mickey was a big part of the draw, but
the Young Bucks too,
the Young Bucks were killing it on the merch table. A lot of people wanting,
yeah.
I got a T-shirt myself, selling out quickly.
If you were a fan of 1990s wrestling,
you
will love the Young Bucks. I mean, saying "suck it" every 30 seconds is somebody in the match.
Yeah.
A super kick all over the place, and all sorts of homages to everybody. They dress their pants are pretty much like the Rockers, which is great.
Yeah.
They were helped trained by Marty Jannetty. So, I mean, what's there not to love about those guys?
Yeah,
so
great.
entertaining.
Great match, and probably the best tag team in all professional wrestling right now. They're the hottest.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
are. Maybe Bring Brothers helps.
Yeah,
they're so in sync. I mean, overall though, it was a great show. The matches were very
a
entertaining.
lot of great spots. Yeah,
yeah. Ray Rowe threw
through
his opponent. Poor Josh Prohibition got thrown over the top rope.
Yeah,
through a table, belly to belly, overhead suplex.
I thought the whole night every match had a couple great spots and had a lot of interesting storylines. They're really going after the whole dudes on TV versus the indie guys. You had EC3 versus Johnny Gargano. I think it was a good match, but I think both those guys are injured. EC3
they are
coming off.
some stuff off. Yeah.
Gargano is wrestling with a bum knee. I mean, I think that match could have been a lot more if those guys were healthy. Not their fault, but still a great match with both of them. EC3, I mean, this guy is on TV. He's on TNA. He's one of the main top guys at TNA, and he's out here selling
like crazy,
selling his heart out for this dudes on TV angle they're doing.
He loves it. We watched him cut the promo afterwards, which was great. DJ Z, our buddy, did a run in on that match. I still love every time EC3 asks the crowd if they want to see a certain move. Now, this match in particular, he said, "Do you want to see something extreme?" And, of course, everybody says, "Yeah,
Of
course we do." And he puts Johnny Gargano in a headlock.
Now, this
so entertaining.
Well, Nick of St. event was all the matches were no DQ, no countouts,
That's
no
right.
nothing. It was kind of funny because Extreme Rules, there's matches that are just regular matches.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird to have that in the same weekend. You had the parody of both of them, but
and
they had some great,
more extreme than Extreme Rules by far.
yeah. But AIW, make sure to check them out. AIWrestling.com. John Thornton puts a great show on always, and they fill the place up. And who knows who will make a surprise? I think Nunzio or Little Guido will be making an appearance.
Hey, there you go.
Next month, so look for that. But like I said, Chris Sabin and Kurt Hawkins, now known as Brian Myers, will be on the show in the coming weeks, and the Young Bucks will be joining us here shortly to talk plenty here on the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. All right, Extreme Rules was this weekend. I don't want to, nothing too big. I don't get it. They say this is going to extreme, but it's not extreme. I mean, some matches are matches we've seen before. Some matches I didn't care about and just predictable. This is a throwaway pay-per-view right after WrestleMania. No one really cares.
It could be so memorable because of what it is.
Yeah.
It didn't. I saw some websites giving it like, oh, this was an A because I was like, no. To me, it was just okay. Your best two matches to me were the tag match. Because I thought, man, Cesaro and Kid, do they get any more entertaining? And how strong is Cesaro?
And
catching Big E in the air.
And New Day
And-
finally getting over as the heel, but they're not really saying they're heels.
Right, which is perfect because they have
it's
so
perfect.
much heat.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to make them the champion. Why not?
Yeah.
Somebody asked me that, and I was like, well, look, they are popular to hate, but they're popular.
Yeah. They're starting to get over. It took
Yeah.
some time, but they weren't forcing the whole good guy angle. Now they're kind of embracing the heel.
Right.
And
but
you-
still pretending to try to be good guys.
Because
which I
Xavier
love.
Woods, you hear him say, "What did we do?
He's like, we don't suck.
We're winning. What did we do?" Like, but they have the Freebirds rule because
Yes.
Xavier can now compete, even though Kofi and Big E won the titles, but Xavier can be thrown in there now. So that's interesting. I'm sure we're going to see a rematch between those two teams. I thought Big Show Roman Reigns
I was going to say that to me was the other
wasn't too bad.
match
There
of
were
the night.
some great spots. Roman taking a bump through 2 tables. The whole announce table on
Yeah,
Big
I
Show,
didn't
we've
like
seen
because
that
we've
before.
already seen that
Yeah.
before. On SmackDown, I think, of all places, was that match
We've
with
seen that
Del
plenty
Rio.
of times.
But, so I didn't like that. I did love the fact that the stairs have to be there and he ran across the
Yeah.
steps and the table to
Yeah.
spear him through the other one.
Yeah.
I thought you could have ended it maybe with that, and that would have been fine. Didn't necessarily have to put the table on top. I mean, I get it because he's the Big Show. He's
Yeah.
so big. I think the other time we saw him lose a last man standing match, somebody had a forklift that
Yeah,
they put
something
and,
like that.
and put him on top of him. But I get it. He's big. You had to pin him down.
I did like how they had Ambrose and Harper leave the arena
Leave and come back.
and then come back in the SUV.
Do you think they grabbed dinner with Phil Brooks?
I don't think
Dropped
so.
by the Brooks house?
It's fake. That's what Phil Brooks says. No, it's fake. But I thought that was clever, something unique we haven't seen in so long. Reminded me of the Hardcore Holly Al Snow matches
Yeah.
of old back in the Attitude Era.
Would you have liked a camera to follow them and all of a sudden like they were in some bar?
I
in
would have loved to
Chicago?
see a helicopter.
Yeah.
Get the helicopter out.
Something. Yeah, I'd like to have seen them go
I mean, come
outside
on,
of
Vince.
location. It would have been good.
Open the pocketbook a little bit.
Right.
Get
we
the
used to
helicopter.
see barroom brawls all the time, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the APA. They'd be at a bar,
Yeah.
out off site and they get into a brawl there.
Have a helicopter with little Nate in the car following them. That would have been great to do that, but I thought that was clever. The Divas match, didn't care. They had Naomi. She found. Oh, I forget. Is that Cameron? That's Naomi.
That's Naomi.
She finally has new music.
She
So
does.
We can finally end the Funkadactyls.
It's sad. It's
Somebody
tragic.
call your mama song is.
Somebody call mama.
It's dead. It's done.
That is a bit tragic.
It's
However,
away. I think she's going for the whole Kanye West kind of feel.
how about those shoes?
Oh, jeez, that's the best thing part of the match. I think.
Yeah, I was like, wow, those are pretty
Yeah,
cool,
every time
actually.
she kicked somebody, it turned a different color.
Yeah, I would get a pair of those.
Trying to embrace '90s Attitude Era. I mean,
That
that's
was
like
pretty-
from the '90s.
Those
like
shoes are pretty sweet,
those
man.
light up shoes. Didn't really care about that. And then the whole cage match, you knew what was going to happen. I mean,
Well,
as soon as Kane was out there as corporate Kane,
yeah.
he didn't come back as old Kane.
And
You knew that he was going to side with Rollins.
And my problem with that is that the match itself wasn't as good as it could have been.
right.
Wasn't even close. I get it. It's WrestleMania. That's going to be the match. But it wasn't even close. And you added a cage to it.
Yeah. And then you push the whole RKO thing. It's banned, but Seth Rollins can use it. But then they really kind of hit it hard once the match was over. Like, the King and Cole and
Yeah,
JBL.
I do like that they addressed it.
Yeah, they did address it, but then it kind of confused me because I didn't really think that until they brought it up because we kind of knew that Randy Orton couldn't use the RKO.
Right.
That was that was Rollins' stipulation. It wasn't like the whole RKO was banned through the whole match for both of them. Just
See,
for
as soon as
Randy.
he hit it, that was my thought, though, was, hey, no RKO.
And
What's going on
He
here?
didn't use his new finisher. He didn't use the curb stomp.
Nope, didn't. Did you love that Randy Orton used the pedigree?
Yes, that was good.
That
and I wish they would have made a bigger deal about that. They
To
didn't.
me, when that happened, I did all of a sudden think, wait a minute. Are we having a turn here? Is Triple H going to somehow interfere in this match? And
Yeah.
the belt goes back to Randy
Nothing.
Orton.
I
I thought we'd see something there.
There was nothing. There was not even a bigger deal. They made, almost.
I
made a
thought we were
3 count.
finally in for a surprise from the WWE.
Yes, but nothing. Nothing came from that. If you're gonna do that, follow it up, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. But other than that, I mean, Raw wasn't anything special.
Yeah, they kind of touched on the whole RKO thing,
Yeah,
which is why
but-
Randy should have another shot. And
It's
we now know we'll have a triple threat
Yeah.
match.
Reigns, Orton, and Rollins. Which okay. I really hope they don't have Reigns get the belt now.
Can we get an end to this Kane Rollins thing?
Yeah, can we? Yeah, I thought that was
Just
going
have
to
him
be
blow
that.
up at some point or whatever. Either he just deals with it, or he blows up and he's not a part of it anymore.
I would
Something.
not. I would not mind Kane going back to old Kane as the masked Kane, and then having a couple pay-per-views with Rollins. That kind of
Sure.
holds over until SummerSlam, where I think you can book Reigns and then maybe Orton again.
Yeah.
Kind of, but this is a time where this is the dead time. After WrestleMania Hangover, you have 2 pay-per-views. You got Payback and Extreme Rules. And you got Money in the Bank, which is a big one. It's going to be in Columbus. But I think these 2 pay-per-views, you can just kind of just have Kane and Seth. But you're right. Something needs to happen with Kane.
What was missing from Extreme Rules, and I thought was finally a perfect time to capitalize and end this saga, even though they had the crappy match on Raw. The match itself wasn't crappy, but the fact that they ended it on Raw. Extreme Rules, Mizdow.
Yeah.
That's where it really needs to come at a head.
Miz is going to be gone for a while shooting a movie.
Right. Why not finish it at Extreme Rules? And on top of it, I found interesting this part on Monday Night Raw, how Damian Sandow came out. And the whole time, our question has been, what happens once he's no longer Mizdow?
Yeah.
And I did I think, that they broke down that wall, and he openly was like, so I did this, did basically a scripted shoot right there.
Right.
In the middle of the ring. But then he mimicked Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
I mean, so is that just going to be his thing now? He's just a regular guy, but he makes fun of everybody. We still don't have a direction for him.
Yeah,
I still would have liked a definitive end to that, and then something else. I mean, I liked it that he addressed it, but now what?
Yeah. Well,
I still want to know.
With Miz going to shoot his movie, it's hard to
Sure.
put an end to that, or they should have put an end to that before he left, and then maybe have they could have had Mizdow doing Miz for the next 2 months when Miz is gone. Then Miz surprise comes back, But then, as that, people I think would get bored of Mizdow being
By
Mizdow
himself.
because you don't have Miz there.
Yeah.
They both fed off each other. I mean, Miz is a great heel, and it helped Mizdow get over. With Mizdow without Miz, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. It's going to get boring. It's going to stale quickly.
There was a brief moment where Curtis Axel came out, and I thought that he was going to drop the Axelmania thing,
Yeah.
and we were going to have a new tag team.
Other news going on. King of the Ring made his return. Not the pay-per-view, but
Nope.
they're going to just make someone a King of the Ring. It's all mid-card guys. It's not like the way it used to be. We're going to talk about that. Also, Daniel Bryan going to be gone for the next few months.
We don't know how long.
It's all his appearances up for
Right.
the next couple months. So it's at least 2 months. So at least till July, he's going to be gone.
Should probably get somebody else taking the IC title then.
Yeah.
If your
Definitely.
storyline is going to be that he can't
Yeah.
be the heavyweight champion
Yeah.
because of injury, should probably get the IC title.
Maybe they'll make it the IC title tonight, the King of the Ring IC champion. You never know. But they haven't addressed it on WBTV that he's going to be out for the next few months, but they have pulled him away from all the advertisements for the live shows and the house shows on the weekend.
Did they shoot themselves in the foot with this? Because going into WrestleMania, there were talks, and people knew that he still may not be 100%, and
Right.
that's why they put him in the match that they did. Should he have won? Should they have allowed somebody else, like a Dolph Ziggler, to win, knowing that they would be healthy?
I don't think they knew how bad it was until they went on the European tour, and then they realized it, and then they let him go home. Obviously him winning it raises the IC title more than a Wade Barrett, more than Dolph Ziggler. Daniel Bryan brings a credibility to it, just like Cena is with the U.S. title. But I think they didn't know until they went on the tour, which is a shame because I thought Daniel Bryan being the new champ would be great for SmackDown. They're trying to do that separation, Cena on Raw,
Yeah.
Bryan on SmackDown. But we got to see what they're going to do. All right, we're going to go do an interview with the Young Bucks. This is from our AIW show. They talk about everything from Jim Cornette to a tag team, and if one of them wanted to step away, would the Young Bucks go away? So all that and more with our interview with the Young Bucks. Stay tuned after. We're going to talk about King in the Ring and wrap this baby up. Look for interviews next week with Chris Sabin and Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins, here on the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. So sit back, enjoy the great Young Bucks. How fitting here in Cleveland. The Young Bucks are here, Matt and Nick. 2 times during your match today here at AIW, the This Is Awesome chant. And how fitting, because our show is This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. But thank you for guys for coming on, taking the time to come here.
I didn't know it was twice. I thought it was more than that. No, I'm just kidding. I knew exactly it was
Don't
twice.
get cocky here, Matt.
Watching you guys wrestle and YouTube and here live, I feel like I'm a kid again, because you guys get the suck it chance, you got super kicks, you got everything going on. I feel like I'm back to being 12 years old watching Raw back in 1997.
Yeah, I think
And that's exactly what we're looking for. We're trying to bring what was cool back then back to nowadays.
We always go,
and
well, what did we like watching? What was fun for us? And when we were fans, these were the things that we liked doing. And it kind of all started out when I think we started kind of playing air guitar with our belts and stuff, because that was a Hollywood Hogan thing.
Yeah.
Then we're like, oh, that was kind of cool. And then we started doing the Eddie Guerrero struts after we would, Nick would hit his in the ring senton, and then it just kind of blew up into us just doing all of our favorite wrestlers stuff. Macho Man was another big one that we haven't really been doing.
Yeah, you're right.
But
we got to bring it back.
Macho Man was one of our. We'd come out, pointing the finger, and it's just fun. It's just what we like. As I spit all of your dust, it made it fun. It made us laugh, and we're like, you know what? Let's have fun out there. Let's make each other laugh. And if we're making each other laugh, then certainly the fans are gonna have a good time as well.
I feel like even the outfits, the pants, a little bit of an homage, perhaps.
Yeah.
To maybe
It's a
like
rocker
the
thing.
Rockers. Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny, a lot of people say it's the Hardys, but it really isn't.
No.
Like, we love the Hardy Boys, obviously, but we never have really patterned our look towards them, and every fan thinks we do so, which is false. I'm sorry, guys. It's the Rockers.
Yeah.
Just
I think
to
I'm
clear
gonna
that up.
naturally get it because I have the sideburns that
Yeah.
Matt once rocked, and my name's Matt, and I have long hair, and we're brothers. So it's like you're gonna just get it either
Of course,
way.
we're gonna get the comparisons.
But I mean,
we grew up loving those guys too.
Yeah, not to say that because we'd watch the TLC era was big for us too.
Yeah.
We kind of we watched it as kids, and then we got it really big into other sports like basketball and stuff. We like Michael Jordan, and then the Nitro and Raw thing kind of started happening, and then we were like, whoa, we fell really in love with it. And then the TLC stuff happened, and we were like, whoa, I think we want to do this, right?
Yeah.
And then the Hardys, watching the Hardys, we're like, hey, they're brothers. Maybe we can do that one day. So that we kind of had that in our back pocket, I think. Yeah.
But there's another brother that was left behind, I feel like.
Oh yeah, Malachi.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the youngest of the Jacksons.
Him and his wife didn't really enjoy it, so
Right.
that's pretty much what cut his career short.
He did a weekend with us. We did King of Trios. I want to say it was 2010, 2011.
I don't even know.
I don't remember. But he did one weekend, and then we got home from the road, and he's like, I can't do this. He says, it's just too hard.
Yeah.
And we were like, at the time, we were like, that was like a fun little weekend off. We were at the same building every night. We
It
had
was so easy.
3 brothers. Like, come on, what are you talking about? Because we were on a TNA schedule at that point, and we were pretty busy.
Yeah.
So like that weekend for us was like
That
a
was a
party.
blast. It was
And
a
he's like,
vacation.
I don't think I'm cut out for this. And we were like, if you thought that was hard, you should probably consider quitting.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he did. So
Shortly
he's ha-
after that, it was
and he's
done.
happy, and he has a kid, and he's he sells cars now,
Yeah,
and
he's
he's
successful as a car
making
salesman,
good money,
so,
and I don't think he misses it one bit.
Different route for everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it easier now when you're doing more independent stuff and maybe not doing TNA because just because you're not on television, so you can pay more? I don't know, do more like the homage kind of stuff to like the 90s, like WWE wrestlers. You don't have to worry about stepping on any toes or things like that. But is that more fun for you then to be able to just do
be
much
our
more
be our own boss.
Yeah.
That's the best part of being an independent contractor.
Having freedom in the ring to do
Yeah, we don't
whatever
got
want.
agents breathing down our back every night.
We came to a point where we were kind of doing the fun stuff, and people said, "Oh, don't do that. Cut it out. It's indie-rific or whatever." And we said, "Oh, okay." And then we would not listen to them, and then just go out there and do it
Still do
anyway.
it, yeah.
And then it would get over.
and we really got it going crazy in PWG, and then
that's where it became our act.
I think what's cool at PWG is cool anywhere. So we brought what we had there to every promotion that we wrestle for nowadays.
I think
and-
Receipt. Do you think Receipt is almost like the Madison Square
Yeah.
Garden?
Oh, yeah.
It's like whatever happens in that building, it ends up like on one of those
Exactly.
PWG previews, and the
for
people
sure.
watch these things.
Adam
they see the people
Cole was
going
the
nuts.
Ring of Honor champion a long time before he won the ROH belt.
No, you just said he was the Ring of Honor champion right
or
before he
the
won the
PWG champ. I mean,
I think they set the tone for people. Like
well,
whoever
you
they
get what
decide to
I'm
push
talking about, yeah.
ends up becoming a big deal in the independents.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's. I
Any
think
of
they
those
set
guys.
the tone. They're the measuring stick,
Yeah,
in my
I think
opinion.
so. I think so.
Yeah.
All right, I know you guys are time limited. You guys are going to do your thing. like rapid fire questions really quick. All right. Is there a beef between you guys and Jim Cornette?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
He hates our style. He left us home when we were under a contract for Ring of Honor, and we left TNA for them, so there's heat there because we were starving when he begged us to quit TNA to come work for him in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So there's legit heat
we
there.
don't feel like he did his best to help us out in our situation, and this is personal because we're talking money, taking money out of our
for sure.
our children, food out of our children's
Where we had a
mouths,
guaranteed thing at TNA, and we risked it by leaving there, going to something that we thought would be even better.
We put our trust into him, and maybe it was our fault for trusting him, but we don't feel like he did everything he could to help us.
He put the blame on other guys in the office, so we don't know who it really
we don't know who's
goes
ultimately to blame, but I feel
But
like
he was running the promotion at the time, so it's got to be.
And then after all of
towards
this, after him doing these very personal things to us, he fires shots at us on his podcast and smart aleck tweets about us.
Yeah.
It's like we felt like we could have so many times put public with what he did to us, and we didn't. We were nice about it. So after he screws us over and basically lets our contract run out, now
They never even called us.
never even calls and thanked us.
Yeah.
Then he goes.
They just
on,
let our contract end, and we literally didn't even get a "Hey, thanks, guys, but we're letting you guys go." Nothing.
Yeah, at one point on our last show, they brought us in. It was a pity booking. He said, "Can you beg for your jobs back at TNA and go get your jobs back? We can't afford you guys. We can't work with." And like at that point, Nick and I just said, is this really happening to us?
Yeah.
So then for all that to go down, and then for him to take shots at us at our work and stuff, how can you even do that? Like, you're lucky we haven't said at that point. You're lucky we didn't even come out and say anything about how you treated us. If anything, we should be the ones pissed off.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's what really pisses off was he did this very personal thing to us. And then he's the one burying us on the internet and on his podcast and stuff. And I think, you know what? I think we fell right into the trap and the bait because he loves talking about this stuff because he's got nothing going on. He's got nothing. The guy had to start a Kickstarter to get booked in Europe. Like, and he sees that we're doing big things and we're successful. And it's like, I understand that. Like, you want to take you want to get people to talk. You know what I mean? And that's what you did. Yeah. That's fine. But like at this point, you asked, do you have a beef with him? I do, but like if I saw the guy, I'm not gonna go jump him and start a fight with this old man. Yeah. I would be cordial and I say hello to him. Would I want to work for him again? Absolutely not.
Yeah. There's a rumor. Do you guys turn down WB contracts and like
not
last
a contract?
Year?
They offered us a tryout.
Okay.
And we turned down the offer for the tryout.
Yeah. Now say they came to you and they wanted you to come on. The terms were correct. Do you feel like your style that made you guys so popular, they would totally probably change it to what they want, and then kind of ruin the aura of what the Young Bucks are?
Maybe. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But never say never because it feels like what they're doing right now.
It's working for some of the guys, like
and like
Pac,
they're doing their act. Yeah. Ramy's doing his act. Kevin's doing his act, and they're not changing.
It works for some of the guys, but as the tag teams are concerned, I don't know. There's just not much of a future for tag teams in the WWE, unfortunately.
That'd be a concern for us because we like going and being booked on the top
but
of the cars and doing our act. And
I think if we put our focus on going there and changing that, I think we could do it. But right now, we're just having too much fun. Yeah. Right now is not the right time. So.
You know, a good wrestler can change with what they're given, their style. Like we wouldn't expect to come there and do this what you saw tonight. And it to work there. We would have to adjust because that's what good workers do. Like, for example, we're in New Japan. It's a completely different audience who expects different. They react to different things. And it's taken us a year, but we finally are at the point now where we've changed our act to what they like. We verbalize the things they're familiar with. We do the things that they relate to.
You just got to adjust to where you're wrestling.
But I like to have confidence in, like, if we did ever go there, that we would be successful because we would just change it up to what they like, what they want.
But right now, like if the offer was something really, really good, then we would consider it.
Right now, though, a tryout is like we have a good thing going on. I guarantee. Why say, hey guys, we got this tryout real fast, okay? Hang on. Yeah. And then if they say no to us, we come back to the for sure thing. Go, hey, they said no. You still want us? You know, we just can't do it. We have families.
It's too risky.
So we have a
guaranteed thing right now. Why screw it up?
Yeah. Not to pit you guys against each other, but would it have to be a tag team? Would one of you root for the other? Be like, oh no, go ahead.
If he decided tomorrow that he's not going to be a wrestler anymore, then I guess I'm done too. I wouldn't wrestle. I wouldn't. I would need someone on the road with me. I need someone in the ring to back me up. It's too much fun as a tag team. I like tag team wrestling so much more than singles wrestling.
We got about a 10-year window. We're gonna make as much money as possible in the next 10 years and try to get out 10 years. That's the main plan. And wherever we are doing that, I'm happy. As long as my family's happy, that's all.
We can come out in one piece with a healthy, family, a healthy relationship with our kids, with our wives.
We'll be happy. And I could care less if it's for WWE.
We're not marks for the whole everyone. You got to go there to make.
You guys just want to do. You want to be happy.
As long as I'm making the same amount of money as I am now, God bless me.
Yeah. And you guys still have your own promotion back
home? We don't have it anymore, but we've talked about maybe bringing it back one day. Right now,
if we were settling
crazy.
down,
we'd like to run a school again, maybe.
In 10 years now, instead of we'll stop doing the stuff you see us do now. I'd probably start training kids in 10 years.
Yeah, I think we'll have a future in the business longer than 10 years.
I won't be actively wrestling the way I do now.
At the schedule
and
at the there's no way.
No chance. And we know that. And we're ready for it. So
our bodies are ready for it.
Yeah. It's amazing. I have brothers, and I feel like none of us are as on the same page.
Yeah.
We've been working together for
10 years plus.
Yeah, so it's
I once fired my brother from a job. So
really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they say never get into business with your brothers.
Yeah, we worked at a restaurant.
Just never get into business
manager.
It doesn't happen often, but we
get along fine.
I
mean, we have your moments, but
yeah, I love my brothers. We get along, but
of course,
not on this.
You can't do business
on the same page.
Yeah.
It's so much more than just being a team. Like we are brothers.
Yeah,
so we're
pretty much married at this point.
Oh, we joke. We see each other more than our wives.
Exactly, which is sad.
Yeah.
All right, favorite rocker of all time.
Oh man.
I know this is kind of putting you guys on the spot here. Marty Jannetty or Shawn Michaels?
Come on, Sean's the greatest of all time.
But are we talking as the tag team or as after that the Rockers split?
I mean,
see, they were very equal at one
as
point.
A team,
and then there came a point where Sean just got so good.
But Sean even claimed Marty was the better wrestler while
Marty
they
taught
tagged.
Sean on the job a lot.
While they teamed, he said that.
If you watch the early stuff, a lot of that's Marty. You could tell. And then Sean's kind of
But if we're talking full career, no doubt about
Sean's
it.
the greatest.
Well, obviously. No.
Yeah.
But as rockers, I feel like we all had to pick one during that
Dude,
split.
if you go back and watch those Rockers Brainbusters matches, they hold up to this day. If that match was on this show today, people would still be going crazy.
For sure.
That's how good those are.
We do the same style, but we've modernized it.
I'll watch those and I'm like picking up ideas. I'm like, oh my God, these guys, how do they remember all this? How do they do this?
All right, if you have sons?
I got
2 girls.
I got a daughter. I got a boy coming in 6 weeks.
All right, so say your children, if you have 2 boys, would they be called the younger bucks?
Yeah, we've joked about that because he's.
I have a baby coming in October. We don't know.
And I
got
a kid coming, like I said, in 6 weeks. So like, if he has like they'll be like a few months apart, right? So like,
if they want to get into the business, they're gonna have an easy way to get to it.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'm gonna discourage my kids as much as possible.
My girl's definitely not getting into it, but if I do have a boy, then if he's very interested in it, then possibly, because it's. Let's face it, he's already got a job somewhere.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's so much easier for second generation wrestlers.
I know, but I know the lifestyle, how hard
easier.
it is on people. I'm gonna kayfabe him as long as possible.
Of course.
And then if he stumbles upon it and he's interested, I'll go, okay, now that you've asked me, I'll teach you what I know.
Yeah.
This is what I know.
Make him go to college first.
Yeah. Just discourage him, and discourage him.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta, what I mean? Like,
all right, super kick party.
Yeah.
One person. Who would it be?
Oh man.
Jim Cornette.
I don't know if I'd waste it on him. No, I don't know.
Could be anybody, dead or alive.
Just because it would be a sweet animated GIF, however you say it, Shawn Michaels. I would love to have a match with him and
with the gum coming out.
Give him the super kick.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
It would take a few to knock him down, but it's okay.
All right. Matt and Nick, really appreciate you guys coming on and giving us your time, and love having you in Cleveland, your AIW debut, and come back sometime soon.
Yeah, we'd like to come back. Thanks for having us.
Great interview with the Young Bucks right here on This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. Make sure to go back on iTunes and subscribe. You can listen to all their interviews from Seth Rollins, EC3, Jerry the King Lawler, just to name it, through The Miz. We had Bo Dallas. So plenty of interviews on our iTunes feed. And like I said, you can go back and subscribe and be alerted every time a new show is posted every Tuesday, Wednesday, right here on CLEsound.com. And all the interviews are sponsored by...
They are all sponsored to you by Weber Grills. You can go to Weber.com, the heart of Weber and the hub of Weber love, or download the free Weber Grill app where you will find mouth-watering recipes and guides on tips and techniques for using your grill. Information will be delivered to your device weekly and are guaranteed to keep the fire burning.
Thanks to Weber Grill for sponsoring all our interviews here on the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show on CLEsound.com. All right, we're going to wrap this baby up talking about the King of the Ring. They had some not qualifying, but the initial first-round matches. They're having it tonight as of this recording on a Tuesday, so we don't know who wins. You guys will know if you're listening to this either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning or whenever you listen to your podcast feed. All right, I get it. King of the Ring, bring it back for the free customers in the WWE Network to give them something until the free month runs out. But this needs to have its own pay-per-view, build up, and to have the best superstars, the top guys, not the mid-card guys, because if you're not going to have anything come of this, it's pointless.
This was an event that made Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Bret Hart was a winner. The guys that not that these guys haven't been champions, I suppose, because you do have Dolph Ziggler and you do have Sheamus in there.
Yeah.
But yes, that's it. I mean, you need the bigger names. Or, I mean, it put a guy that was almost over like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it did put him over and made him.
It's been 5 years since they had King in the Ring. Some of the guys
you bring it back.
You mentioned some of the people who've won this: Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Stone Cold, Triple H, Ken Shamrock, Billy Gunn, Kurt Angle, Edge, Brock Lesnar, Booker T, William Regal, and Sheamus was the last winner. You go back, you got Harley Race has won it, Randy Savage, Ted DiBiase, Tito Santana. So some big names, and you're right, it kind of catapulted their careers. But if you're going to do that, make it a pay-per-view. Make it a major spectacle. Don't announce it the day before. Oh, we're going to have it on Raw. Don't do that. You should make it a bigger deal so the winner seems to be more pumped up and it can kind of relay into a summer run for the winner. But to have it on Raw, then have it on WWE Network with a bunch of guys matches we've seen before.
Yeah.
Because this tournament, it kind of gave us some unique matches we haven't seen before.
It did, yeah.
It was great.
And this... to go further, this is the tournament that either made a name or then created this great storyline. You had the Macho King. Randy Savage basically became a heel after winning this tournament and was too good for all the people. That was huge. This prompted Owen Hart suddenly deciding that he's better than Bret Hart and creating that feud that we were waiting to build upon for such a long time. Even King Booker all of a sudden became too big.
I hated that angle.
A lot of people did, but it did something there. Again, Stone Cold Steve Austin, that was huge and pushed him. All of those things. I don't know that anything really happened with Billy Gunn, but still, this could be so much bigger and so much better. And yeah, I'm really disappointed that, again, everything that we've heard, this was kind of thrown together last week because let's give the folks at the network who are getting it for free one more thing to try and get them to buy it.
Yeah. Billy Gunn went on to be the one, and he was the Intercontinental Champion and Hardcore Champion, but that was really it for the one, Billy Gunn. But the King of the Ring was one of the 4 pay-per-views. I looked 4 or 5. I mean, Survivor Series, I didn't like the teams. I liked the more one-on-one or tag team. But WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and then King of the Ring were my top 4.
Yeah,
I loved it. But Brock Lesnar won in 2002 in Columbus. His career, we all know about that. And they took 4 years off and came back. King Booker T won, and then William Regal in 2008. So ever since 2006, it's kind of been off and on. But that's, like I said, 5 years since they had the actual King of the Ring event, and they had it tonight on WWE Network. We do not know who's going to win, but I don't think it matters because they're not really going to push it the way that I think they should. And they don't. Attitude Era, Stone Cold, like you mentioned, Triple H, Ken Shamrock, 3 guys that...
This is where Triple H became the King of Kings.
Yeah, it's...
To hammer home more of the angles, yes.
But really, it's it's a gimmick now. It's just, hey, come subscribe. You get this for free. Stay for next month, and we'll have more of this. But it's when they initially announced it, I thought they were going to play some of the great matches, but actually have the actual King in the Ring. I thought it was great, but then thinking about it, I'm not too thrilled.
No, they dropped the ball on being able to do something more with this. Yeah. I thought, King of the Ring's coming back.
Yeah,
and then,
same thing.
And then this, it's disappointing. And I think, what could have had them not botch this idea was, hey, maybe Extreme Rules could have just been better, and those people would have bought for May.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what happened, was they probably didn't feel too strongly about Extreme Rules, and they thought, well, just in case, let's give them King of the Ring real fast, and then they'll buy.
And, most of these matches we've seen before. We've seen Ziggler versus Barrett. We've seen R-Truth, Stardust. We've seen Ambrose and Sheamus. We've, Neville, okay, beats Luke Harper. But, we've seen these matches before, and we're going to see Bad News Barrett versus We've
seen them all the last month, 2 months.
Building up for IC title WrestleMania. So,
and some of them building up for the last pay-per-view.
If you're going to bring something as prestigious as a King in the Ring, do something about it. Just don't throw it on the WWE Network and be like, oh, okay, here you go.
Would have been a great chance to maybe involve a couple NXT guys.
That
just for the sake of seeing them in
bigger.
A match.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have to win, but just for the sake of they're in there. This is Hideo Itami's debut, finally.
They had 16 guys usually.
Right.
16 was the average number. Now they have 8, and all 8 were basically involved in the IC title ladder match.
Who wasn't involved in that match?
Yeah. So, it's most of them were, and it's not. I'm not really too excited about it tonight. Daniel Bryan out for so long. That's going to be affecting WWE, what they're going to do with the title. Maybe we'll hear something soon about that once they formally announce it. Other than that, really slow news week here.
I will say this,
wrestling.
Folks, if you've never felt like you had a true reason to go back and listen to all of our shows, you do now have it. Because WrestleMania weekend, we interviewed a certain individual and said, will there ever be a point in time where you are somehow tied up in a storyline with your brother?
Yeah.
And Bo Dallas told us, well, never say never. And this week, and last week I mentioned Bo Dallas, he's grown that beard. I feel like maybe
but
something
are they together?
with this. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But why would he come out to save his brother of all people? Twice we have Bo Dallas and Ryback. And what is it about Bo Dallas that leads Bray Wyatt to then come out? It could be nothing. In the WWE's eyes, it could be nothing. But as a fan, I want that to happen.
I think it's nothing.
And that would be fantastic. If it's something, then we were spot on.
Yeah.
We're all over it.
But I think it's nothing because that would be too much fun for WWE to have them together.
The fun police calling?
Yeah. But Bray Wyatt needs nothing. I think it's coming a little stale. It's great promos, but is he going to do this for the rest of his career? Something needs to change up. He needs a stable around him.
He needs another Wyatt family.
He needs followers, and that's what he needs. So
he needs somebody to believe in what he's doing.
God. All right, it's time for our weekly segment to call Scott Steiner. We're doing this. All right.
Oh, by the way, while Scott's ringing, we did have somebody tweet us an idea for the Tough Enough submission. Felt that we should wear something to beat Cleveland. Maybe we should be Slider and Moondog and compete for Tough Enough. That'll be our gimmick.
We are calling Scott Steiner, by the way.
Yes, the phone is ringing. We're still waiting for Scott to answer. Voicemail again this week, folks.
2 weeks in a row. We're going to keep calling. Every week we're going to call until we get Scott to answer.
Nobody decided to tweet at us or tell us what they felt Scott Steiner would say to their daughter if they'd let their daughter date Scott.
I think everybody's just too traumatized about it. But we will call Scott Steiner every week. I'm calling from the same number, my cell phone number, every week. So
should we mix it up one week? Should we call from mine?
No.
All right.
You think
he'll just get annoyed? Eventually? He'll see the same number.
This number from 216.
He might think it's important.
What are they calling me? And maybe he calls back. Never know. I won't answer because I'll keep it for the show.
Should we shoot him a text one day?
No. Every Tuesday around 6 to 7, between 6 and 8.
Scott Snyder's sitting somewhere eating dinner. Hey, who's calling my phone again? It's a 216 number.
He's gonna
Don't
call.
they know the big bad booty daddy is trying to eat? Keep his peaks peeking.
They're gonna get it. He's gonna answer one time. He's gonna answer. One of these days, he's gonna answer. He's gonna surprise us, and we're just gonna be like,
We're
click.
not gonna know what to say.
Yeah.
We'll be like,
Mr. Steiner, we slept.
just
2 doors down.
we're calling from Mr. Hogan's office. This is the Hall of Fame calling.
Oh, we want you to. This is WB Creative. We want you to come out to Raw on Monday.
This is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show Hall of Shame.
Come into the arena, bill us, invoice us, get to the arena. We're gonna have you and Triple H go at it for the 5th time. All right. Anything else you want to talk about, Steve? Anything?
You know
else?
what? I do have one thing I want to talk about.
Oh boy.
Not wrestling related.
Is this a shameless plug for your comedy set this weekend?
That's right, it is.
Oh, God.
Well, here's the thing. This is Awesome Wrestling Show fans.
All
If
right.
this gets up here before Thursday, if you're listening to this before Thursday evening, you can go to the
tonight.
Funny Stop Comedy Club in Cuyahoga Falls. It's beautiful there. On State Road, 1757 State Road's the address. And see me doing about 30 minutes of jokes featuring for their headliner, Tommy Blaze, this weekend. I'll be there Thursday. Thursday, you can get in for free by using my name. That show starts at 8 o'clock. Or if you want to spend some money, come see me Saturday night. I'll be there 2 shows, 8 o'clock and 10:30. Maybe I'll even throw in some wrestling jokes for you. If you
Are
let me know
you
you're
going? Are you going to plug the show? Wrestling show?
there. Will I plug the wrestling
Yeah.
show at the comedy show?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm plugging the comedy show at the wrestling
I
show.
don't know. You big time.
Oh, of course. And listen, I'll have books of mine to sell, which
Oh,
have nothing to do
boy.
with wrestling either.
Yeah.
But I mean, that'll all be there. I'll be plugging everything while I'm telling jokes. But I don't even tell jokes. I'm just gonna plug wrestling in my book
There you go. Half an hour.
for half an hour.
Forcing the stuff down people's throats. All right. We will chat with you guys next week. Look for our interview with, we'll do Brian Myers next week. And then Chris Sabin the following week after. Make sure to go to AIWrestling.com. Big time. 2 events this month. Back-to-back days, Friday and Saturday later this month.
Memorial Day
weekend. Yeah. The JT Lightning Memorial Tournament will be taking place. So look forward to that. AI Wrestling, support indie wrestling, support Cleveland here if you're from the Cleveland area. If you're not, we have a lot of people listen to the show that are from PA and Southern Ohio come to Cleveland for the event. And one of our good followers, listeners, Najia.
Yeah.
She was.
Yeah, Gia, who won our tickets to NXT.
Twitter name is NetGia. So
Yeah.
you can go.
She showed up to AIW, her
Yeah.
first indie wrestling event. She had a blast.
She loved it. So make sure to there's still tickets available, AIWrestling.com for tickets. Make sure to head there and support, like I said, local indie wrestling. So we will wrap it up. Go back to iTunes. Subscribe to all our shows, our interviews, and all our interviews are sponsored by
Weber Grill Restaurants. Enjoy the flavors of charcoal grilling all year long at Weber Grill Restaurants. Stop in one of our 4 Midwest locations in Chicago and Indianapolis. Visit WeberGrillRestaurant.com for addresses and directions, and sign up for the new Grill Club, where you can earn great loyalty awards.
Thank you for listening. Go to CLESound.com for all the rest of our shows on the network. Take 3 is up there, worthy of the Jersey. 2 great podcasts on the network. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, and make sure to let us know how you like the show, or if you don't like the show, Glenmore CLE on Twitter.
The Steve Guy
What are
on
you
the Twitter.
doing with your hands?
I'm dancing. I don't know. In my mind, Big Papa Pump's music is playing.
You need help.
Holla! If you hear my phone ringing.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next week right here on the This Is Awesome Wrestling.